Hey whales, good morning. Happy Sunday. It is July the 20th. Let's recap the markets and go over the top stocks to buy for this upcoming week. For those that don't know me though, I'm a full-time trader. I do these updates every single day, and to give you an idea in terms of how I'm doing so far for my trades, you can see here this year, guys, doing really well, up almost 90K USD in profit, 60% win rate, and this is all across a $100,000 account that I started with. We did take trades across companies like Unity, CleanSpark, Netflix last week, and you can see from the calendar view, again, for the month of July, very solid month overall. So far, we're up 8.3K USD in profit, so hopefully I can keep up this momentum for the last 2 weeks here to finish off the month strong. Back in June, we did make 11.5K alongside the Discord group, and for May, 11.9K USD in profit as well. So let's see if I can reach that goal and even surpass it here. We're on a good pace. So again, guys, all my trades that you see, everything that I post, they're all posted here in Discord, right? You get the exact swing trade ideas, the day trade ideas, and you get actually commentary on exactly when I get in and get out of these trades, right? So I look forward to seeing you here. The link is in the description for you to join, and yeah, we'll make a lot of money. All right, so with that said, let's jump in, guys. So as you know, as a trader, right, Sundays are one of my more busier days. I try to, figure out what stocks are looking good, what's on my watch list, and on my watch list, right, this is how I break it down. I have accumulation stocks that I'm looking at, bull flags that I'm looking at, inverse head and shoulder companies that I'm looking at, as well as pullbacks on an uptrend that I like to essentially try to position myself into. So let's really dive deep into each single one and sort of do this rapid fire that you should be looking at, okay? So for Apple, as you guys know, I'm already in Apple from the lows with the Discord group, but for those that are trying to get into, a pretty interesting name, definitely look at Apple for this pennant. Okay, we are above the moving averages, starting to break above on the 4-hour time frame, daily starting to coil as well. We are accumulating like this, moving towards the sideways. Look at off the very top, guys, from the highs, constantly in a downtrend, and then finally we're moving towards the right. So this looks like more of an accumulation rather than more breakdown here in the future for Apple. So look for a position within Apple and possible more upside here. Now, this pennant can definitely turn into more of a flag as well, right? We can't discount that as well. So that can also happen where we do break one more low, but that's just another good chance to sort of reload and go for it, okay? So keep a lookout for Apple. Again, we're in a great entry on Apple already from the lows with the Discord, so that's something if you haven't gotten into yet, definitely keep a lookout. Another one is IonQ, as you guys know as well, right? We're in from the very lows on IonQ. And it's just continuously consolidating here into a larger sort of, pennant or flag ready to break out here in the future, okay? So look for IonQ to eventually, tighten up this coil and then do something like this towards the upside, okay? So sort of your targets, if you take the swing lows to the swing highs, you'd be looking at 52.51 and 57.95. So that's sort of your main targets. If you take a look at the 100x baggers account, right, if this can load, you can see we're in IonQ from 38.55. So already up 15% on IonQ. But if you haven't gotten in yet, this could be a pretty interesting level to accumulate as well. For Tesla, so this is an interesting name as well. So very similar to Apple, had a huge downtrend, moving sideways. We had the biggest FUD and negative news on Tesla, but it continues to hold up price, right? Everything from the Trump and Elon feud, robo-taxi things, right? Elon going a little bit with the American Party. So it's still holding up, and, this is going to resolve itself soon, especially during earnings. Okay, we have this triangle formation forming. So keep a lookout. I think this is more bullish than bearish, in my opinion, okay? And if you're taking a look at sort of the main targets, I've been mentioning this over and over again. I do think that Tesla has a chance at 404 to 463. Let's keep going for Fox. So keep a lookout for Fox News as well. This looks like an accumulation, possibly, right? It's coiling, higher lows, higher lows. So look for a break towards all-time highs here on Fox, okay? Let's keep going. Utilities is starting to look pretty decent as well. Keep a lookout for utilities. We are moving sideways here, right? Trying to sort of break out towards these levels. If I go down to the 1 hour time frame, you can basically find entries here pretty easily. All right, pretty choppy within this levels, but you just take the fibs. You're looking at possibly looking between 317 down to 310. These are levels that I'd be looking at for a chance breaking higher, 333 to 342. So look at utilities. And then as you guys know, I think real estate is starting to look a little bit more juicy, right? So keep a lookout for American Tower Corporation as well. So we are starting to make higher highs, higher lows, starting to make a pennant here. So a break towards the upside, in my opinion, is very, very soon, okay? Look for 233 and retesting the highs at 243. So, AMT, very good name, great dividends. If this is a stable company that you're looking to get into, I would highly consider AMT as well from these levels. Now, the next pattern that I love to look at is bull flag. So let's take a look at JP Morgan. So the first bull flag that I'm looking at is JP Morgan. Great, beautiful uptrend, pull back nicely. And, anywhere between 285 down to 283, if it can just come down a little bit more and push up, this could be very interesting play as well, right? You have a beautiful trend line that's forming, right? And this could turn easily into a triangle, something like this, moving forward, okay? So that's what I'm looking at for JPM. Another name for Reddit. So we traded Reddit a little bit on the options group in Discord. So I like Reddit here, right? Let's take the swing lows to swing highs from the last pivot lows. You can see bounced off the 618s perfectly. This is why I got into Reddit on the options. And, we're looking for something like this towards the highs. This can turn easily into an inverse head and shoulders on the 15-minute time frame, 1 hour time frame, something like this for higher, okay? Let's keep going for MDT. MDT is an interesting one. Medtronic, right? Pulling back nicely into a higher low potential, right? Again, bouncing off the 618s from the last pivot lows. So, if this continues to make higher lows, look for this setup. Same thing as Reddit, right? It can easily turn into an inverse head and shoulders on the 15-minute time frame, something like this to $93. For Toast is starting to break out here, guys. Possible weekly cup and handle. So you see sort of this cup forming, and then you have a possible handle here that's starting to accumulate before breakout further, and sort of the targets you're looking for. Let's take a look. 48 up to 50.62 for this week. Okay, so look for Toast there. Celsius is another interesting name here. From the last pivot lows, right, bouncing off the 618 really nicely here. Okay, I don't know if it's going to break below that. So again, very similar to Reddit, can turn into a 15-minute, 1 hour head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders before breaking out to possibly $50 here. And it is channeling into a nice sort of flag as well. So keep a lookout for Celsius. This could be very interesting as well. IBM. So IBM was one of the day trades for Friday in the Discord group. So the reason why is you can take a look, right, from the swing lows. From here, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves in. Okay. So yes, it rested right on the 618 perfectly and bounced off nicely, right? So you're looking at sort of if IBM can try to push up to 300 here in the future, okay? So IBM coiling nicely, so look for possible more upside there. Another one is Alaska Air, guys. A little bit more choppier, but I do like the airlines right now. It's starting to look a little bit more bullish to me, and I'll show you sort of the reason why. But anywhere on the lower end of this zone, guys, between maybe 50 to 51, this could be very interesting. We have a weekly 4-hour cup and handle or inverse head and shoulders forming as well. So this looks pretty bullish to me. So keep a lookout for 56 and 59 for Alaska Airlines. And the reason why is look at Jets, guys. Jets ETF. So Jets ETF, very beautiful bull flag forming. Okay. So this is not something I would want to sell or short airlines, right? I would want to go long on airlines on any dips here moving forward. Okay. And let's look at Live Nation. Live Nation is an interesting one as well. Live Nation is absolutely killing it. Right, you have higher highs, higher lows. We're starting to form this ascending triangle pennant, guys. It's only a matter of time before it breaks out like this, yeah? So keep a lookout for Live Nation. And from the swing lows to the swing highs, it has a possible chance to break out to all-time highs to 168.73, okay? For Ball Corporation, again, flagging nicely, right? So anything around these levels, it can keep coming down a little bit, right? Look for further upside. Let's take a look at the last pivot low here, which is this level at 55.79, right? It needs to hold 59.79 to maintain the higher low. So if it maintains that higher low, look for 56.94. For Goldman Sachs is looking pretty decent as well, right? Last pivot low was right here at 683. So bouncing off the 618 levels as predicted. Right, consolidating. I think it has a chance to get to 736 to 752 here in the future. Jets, we went over. IBIT, so it's something like Bitcoin. So Bitcoin can make a three-wave move down. So if we take the swing lows to the swing highs, maybe 64 down to 61 would be interesting here. Right, we did get this inverse head and shoulders pattern as well. So it's breaking out, pulling back. So we're going to see if we can retest that level to head up to possibly 73.13 as that main target. Finally, for the bull flags that I'm looking at for Zillow Group. So interesting one, right? This is the last pivot low at 74.71. It needs to hold that to maintain the daily uptrend. So this is a possible level of 77 to 76. A little bit riskier because it can turn into a double correction, which means that it can break down closer to 73 to 70, right? Because you see three waves, 1, 2, 3, and then it's supposed to now move up. But if it makes a failed impulsive move, it'll put in 7 swings before going higher, something like this. Okay, so Xylo is Xylo. Keep a lookout for that. And then the next patterns that I like to look at is inverse head and shoulders, guys. BSX, so Boston Scientific. So this is a little bit riskier as well. But if I do move down closer, there is a possible, formation starting to form, accumulation here. There's a weekly head and shoulders, a larger one as well. But we just don't know if it's going to break down a little bit more before higher, which I don't mind. So if I take a look, right, I would love it a little bit lower, closer to 110 to 99, guys. This would be a pretty interesting level for Boston Scientific, a good name for 111, but it doesn't have to break down there. It can hold these accumulation levels as well. Next one is Dominion Energy, right? So Dominion, you can take a look from the daily time frame. So from the lows, right? From the lows, beautiful uptrend, and then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wave swings down, and you can see with that 7 swings down, obviously we made a inverse head and shoulders pattern as well. So these levels, you should be looking to long utilities. As you guys know, I'm bullish on utilities. I've been mentioning it, right? And looks like has a chance to continue pushing higher and break out actually, and surpass the high at 62. So pretty good levels here in formation on utilities. Next one is Campbell Soup, guys. Campbell's absolutely getting destroyed, right, on the monthly time frame, but it is coming down to interesting levels, right? We are at the 786 level. So very good fib level here across the board. We did also take out this low. So there's a lot of liquidity right here for bulls to step in and try to reach this higher, because what's happening is people are scared. They're selling their shares. So a lot of liquidity, great fills to be had on Campbell's. And you take a look on the 1 hour time frame, right? Look at this formation starting to form. Possible, right? There is a possible chance at an inverse head and shoulders here for Campbell Soup. So look at potential levels between 30 down, or $30 around these levels. That could make sense for at least a breakout to 32 and higher, right? There might be a catalyst here, guys, where if the markets become a little bit of a scare, they could go into these dividend names where it's a little bit safer, because it is paying out a pretty good dividend on Campbell's. All right, and then finally, I want to go over the last sort of formations that I love are pullbacks in uptrends. So I call this the 3, 7, or 11 wave pullback. So what does this mean? This means that on uptrends, okay, pullbacks happen in 3 ways: 1, 2, 3 before higher. So that's a typical ABC pattern. It can do this and make a 7-wave swing where we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then higher. Okay, and then finally as well 11s, right? So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, failed impulse, 5, 6, 7, failed impulse, 9, 10, 11, and then higher. Okay, so 3, 7, or 11s on uptrends is what we love to buy. So on Circle, my first one. So as you guys know, for the Discord group, we're in from the lows, right? And we did take half profits right at the 618 level. So I just want to show you guys what happened overall. So for us, we longed right here in Discord, and it hit the 254 level for half profit. So we're in already from the lows at risk-free. We already took our profits at these levels, but I do think that Circle is an interesting buy coming up if it has a chance. So the reason why we're making higher lows starting to form on the 1 hour time frame. And if we take the sort of swing lows to the swing highs for the fibs, Circle could come down to 210 to 200s as a potential level to keep a lookout for on these major pullbacks. I see 1, 2, 3. I see a pullback, right? 1, 2, 3 could go 4, 5, 6, 7 before higher. So something like this could make sense. So look for red days to add on Circle. You can have your stop losses underneath sort of these pivot lows if you want. Okay. Next one is Uber. So Uber is an interesting one. It is pulling back pretty deep, guys. I see 7 swings down already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I see 7 swings down. It can go down a little bit lower. Can make 11. 8, 9, 10, 11. It can do something like this as well, which I like a little bit better on Uber. You can see possible 87s, but it is at an interesting bounce area. So I do expect at least a bounce. We don't know if it's going to be a bounce and lower or bounce, and that was it. It is on the 200 moving average as well. So that's why, either or can happen. But if it does come down lower, I like Uber a little bit. On the lower side at 87, you can see we have a trend line as well starting to form. So it could be interesting for Meta as well. Meta is at interesting levels as well. We mentioned this in the previous video where we take the swing lows to the swing highs, right? It was at these lows at 700. So let's see if it can hold these levels. If not, we'll actually break the daily higher low. This is the last pivot, right? It needs to hold that higher low. If we cannot break above and make this higher high towards 765, then we're going to come down closer to 661 to 634, which is a very amazing add there, in my opinion. Okay, so I'm looking at Meta as well. For next one is Cardinal Health. So Cardinal Health, very great company. Last pivot low that I see is right here at 150 because I see 5-wave swings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the pivot low we have to use. So that is your last daily uptrend level at 150 that needs to hold. So if it comes down closer to 165 to 153, great level for a chance. Okay, I see 1, 2, 3. Or actually, you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wave swings. So it can bounce right now. It could do 8, 9, 10, 11 before like this. All right, so something interesting there for Cardinal Health. For Dash is looking interesting, right? Could make a flag here. And where's the last pivot low? I see it down here at 210. So it needs to hold 210 for the daily to keep intact. I'm just taking some levels. So it is at the 382. So correction can end right now. This can be a bull flag actually, and a correction has ended. So if it ended, this would be the absolute low at 232. So you're looking for any pullbacks here. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like it can keep going higher, make a series of highs, comes back down, and then breaks out like this. So you can look for higher highs and higher lows on Dash at that level. But if it does put in 11 wave swings, look for another series here like this, closer down to 224 to 219 as a buy on Dash. All right. For builders, so builders first source, as you guys know, home builders have been absolutely wrecked the past couple years here. So it is coming down closer to test these levels. So it's trying to see if it can finally call in this low. So it's looking good, right? I see 5 waves in, a little bit choppy, can turn into a diagonal, a leading diag, but you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So possible 7 swings down could come into play. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then higher. Possible. Okay. It can still hold these levels at the 382, but I like it a little bit deeper for home builders to break out to 145 to 158. Okay. Next one is VC. VC is an interesting one, right? Making a possible cup and handle here. So I'm just taking the swing lows to the swing highs. Can bounce right now at 32 or come closer, retest down at these levels at 31. So interesting real estate company with great dividends to definitely keep a lookout for. And then for Shake Shack, so Shake Shack looks like 5 waves possibly in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And I see already an A, B, C in already. So let's take some levels here. Yeah. So it can bounce, but we're not at a crucial level. So it can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, something like this on Shake Shack. 130, 127 up to 150 would be the next. And if that's the case, if it can break to a higher high, this will turn into a 3, 4, 5 like this, right? This could be all of a third wave. If not, this would be a 3, 4, 5. Okay. And if it does do a correction like this, it turns into a head and shoulders pattern. This. And this is actually a 3-wave move down. A, B, C correction. So it will officially end the uptrend. So that's what you can look forward to for majority of the bull flags, right? Bull flags can turn into a head and shoulders pattern like this, or it can extend higher to a 3, 4, 5 like this. Okay, this is why I like playing bull flags, right? Because either or is going to at least bounce. So when it does bounce, what you do is you take half profits at the 382 at 136, raise your stop losses to break even, because if it does do a double, you're safe. You just got out. But then if it does extend higher and consolidates and it breaks out, you're in a really good level. And you can even trail your stop loss if you want to. This is how I play the bull flags. So again, guys, all my trades that you see, you get the exact entries of when I get in and get out, right? So you don't have to ever wonder what to do. I post every single play in Discord. We're up in so many stocks, guys, right? And if you take a look, all these stocks, I'm always monitoring every single Sunday. So I come in Sunday, I build out my list, I build out what stocks are looking good, and this is how I play every single day as traders, right? We have to put in that repetition. We have to put in that work in order to understand the stocks that we want to get into. We also have to take a look at different rotations within the market. We have to take a look at different levels in the market and see where the money is rotating into. So I look forward to seeing you here in Discord again, guys. We'll make a lot of money together. And yeah, have a great rest of your Sunday. See ya.